Hi, my name is Genevieve. I'm a STYLE TYME Virtual Stylist. I teach the one-on-one video tutorials. If you need any help using your iron, you can book an appointment with me in the link below. Today I'm just going to go over a couple of things on how I achieved this look. Angles, rotation, and really pushing your iron down to lengthen out those curls. And to get started, you want to make sure to turn your iron on by pushing the blue button. When it blinks solid, then you're ready to go. And here's how I quit. I always recommend starting in the back and working your way forward. That way the little trickier pieces are done and you can breeze through the rest of your style. Make sure that you get that hair nice and flat like a sheet of paper for your most polished curls. And because my hair is a little shorter, I really push that down and get a nice lean curl. And then about the last ½ inch of my hair I leave out, and that really helps me keep my length. I'm just giving it a little lift to keep some volume in that curl. And for these underneath pieces, it's not as important to start that curl at the root. So I grab about an inch down just so it's easier to get that piece done. Now this curl is not my favorite. I left a little too much out, but I'm gonna leave that alone and kind of fix it at the end. Not every curl I do turns out exactly the way I want. But when I'm done with my style, they usually have a tendency to just fall into line. So I save those fixer-uppers for the very end. And for a little bit of variation in my curls, sometimes I go a little more vertical and do that push down. Ooh yeah, I really like that one. But most times for the look that I use, I do our 45-degree angle, and you move forward and down. And then I drop it at the end. Now here is where I do everything a little different. My face framing pieces are tiny little baby hairs. So I do a really soft rotation. I don't even turn it, I can't see the guidelines in the mirror. I barely turn it as I move forward. And then I just kind of shape that curl into the one behind it. You don't want Shirley Temple curls right up front. And again, I only barely turn it. I can see the time logo in the mirror instead of the guidelines. And that's just for my face framing pieces. There we go. Now, I'm gonna see how all of these came together. This one still isn't my favorite. So I'm just gonna pick it up in the peaks and the valleys. And just finish that curl just a little more. There we go. And on my right side, because I have free range of motion with my arm, it's really important to remember to keep your angles the whole entire time, especially when working towards the back of the head. When you turn to make sure you're actually getting that hair in that section, if you're moving forward towards your mirror with your head turned, it's as if you're pulling it out to the side. So make sure that you make eye contact with yourself in the mirror to make sure that you have all of your angles right. And remember, you want to get that hair nice and flat like a sheet of paper. Hold on to that loose end to control that piece and stop it from sliding. Then I can just flip it over my shoulder, it's out of the way. I always recommend starting from the back and working your way forward. And an important thing to remember when you're making the time iron your own, you have to know the rules to break the rules. So make sure that you are keeping your angles, keeping your rotation, and moving forward with your iron when you're first learning. This is a rule-breaking piece right here because I want it to have a soft curve over the back. So I start back to front, I do my rotation, and I pull up, out, and down. But to get a good curl, I have to do a really hard rotation. Make sure that curl's still shaping with that soft piece up top. I don't recommend trying that until you become proficient with your iron. And that's really only a trick for girls with shorter hair. Working at the 45-degree angle and coming forward. And dropping the last ½ inch. I'm going to give this one a little bit of a tug, but not on the whole entire end, just kind of separate that curl. Now to really keep my length on this piece, I'm going to go vertical with my iron. I'm really pushing it down towards the ground, still leading a little bit with the tip so it doesn't slide out the top. Get a nice lean curl for that last bottom piece. So I'm going to start these curls a little farther down to not build so much volume at the top. I'm being very careful with my baby hairs up front. Very light rotation, and I'm just going to shape that into the curl behind it. It's really important to watch your tension because you don't want a hard crease right at the root. Soft rotation for my face framing pieces, and I finish it out at the end. Shape that into the curl behind it. Most important piece is bangs. So I don't do any rotation, draw it down, drop it out to get that soft swoop. And then I'm going to pick that curl up right here to match the curls behind it. Missed one. Small piece, so I can do it pretty quickly. And then a great little trick for building volume is using the pads of your fingers, not your fingernails. Come up and underneath. Kind of break everything up. And that's it for this look today. If you have any questions, please comment below. Thanks.